Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be patch notes for the second part of the anniversary, I guess, or second part of 4, whatever you want to call it. So they are adding the spin wheel event, which we saw in the current sort of event page. The rewards, they're kind of mid, I'm not going to lie. If you've been playing so far, these rewards are probably the worst we've had in this event. So one SSR pennant when you complete the first round. These chests, which is like a random reward, 3 hammers, 50 of these tickets, which aren't, it's not bad, especially if you haven't got to the extra step yet. And if you're on the extra step, it's an additional raffle ticket, which isn't bad. One assault pendant, another random award thing chest, 3 engraving stones, which isn't bad, and then 50 more of these tickets, which also is not the worst. So, moments you remember. So they're adding the moments of the remember. They're adding it for quite a while, as you can see here. They're adding it all the way to the 25th of June, which I believe is when we're going to get our next really big banner. So it's quite a while away. And all stages are set at hell difficulty with 180 KCC. So you will have to have 180 KCC to go first against these memories. My guess is these are all based on King and DIANE, because it says Fairy King. Oh, I'm actually open that. Fairy King, and then I guess like Precious Friend, Moment of Despair, and then The Decision are all King and DIANE ones. These are the rewards you get, so if you clear all the achievements, you get 1 diamond. First clear gives you 2 million gold per, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that's 10 million gold right there, which is actually quite good. Especially if you're a new player and maybe let's just say you can't do all the challenges because they're too hard, but you can at least do the first clear. 10 million gold is 2 relics, or 2 relic upgrades, depending on what you want to do with it. The diamonds you get for fully completing them, so you have to do all the challenges. Some of them require multiple days, some of them are doable in 1 day, but most of them do take a few days to beat. Malik is returning, which is the event boss, so we'll have another event boss, so I'll have a guide on that. Rewards from it, better than the previous one, but still definitely not the best. Yeah, and then once again, you can exchange the old material from the current boss, the Gloom, into the new material for the Malik, which is pretty good. Now you've got the event Zarathos thing, which we get from Fort Soldiers every week, another Fort Soldiers event. And then, of course, the buff to King and DIANE, which looks huge, but isn't really that big. I'm not gonna lie. So we'll go with the passive first. So with the passive, a little bit has been changed. So normally, their debuff they apply to the enemies, which was the Wrath of Earth, is applied to enemies at the start of the battle. It has now been changed at the start of the allies' turn. Wrath of Earth is applied to enemies who do not have the Wrath of Earth. So it was the problem, more or less, of let's say you're doing a demonic beast, or you're in PvP, you kill their top 3, so the first 3 players, and once again the back character comes in, and it's like Melee Liz. You don't have the effect on Melee Liz, you can't really do too much damage to them. Now they've made it so every turn, if they don't have it, I'll use once again that same example, Melee Liz. They drop down on the field after you've wiped the whole enemy team. It will immediately apply to them when it turns your turn, which is useful. It was also very useful in Demonic Beasts because it means they can be used more and they're going to be putting out a little bit more damage. So also they got something a little bit different, which I thought was kind of weird. Giant Queen's Protection now gives you damage, a 50% damage cap for 1 turn. I'm not sure if it is they're going to make the damage cap a blue effect or a grey effect. It is to all applicable allies, so it'll be like giants, fairies, and sins, as you can see here, which says applicable allies. And then what damage suppression is just 50% damage cap, which is kind of odd because they do expect you to be using alpha with this team anyway, who can give you a 50% or a 40% damage cap depending on your ult level, which is all they've changed when it comes to the passive, which is it's understandable. The improvement was needed. I still don't like the fact they've got the restriction where it doesn't work in demons, because it's sort of like, they could technically be used for Enduro content that maybe people don't want to use LR King for, because LR King doesn't do that much damage. Well, if you could use them, they could do a lot more damage, it'd be a lot better, it'd be quicker, a lot more efficient, but they decided, no, we don't want that. Fair enough. So the other skill, which is the 2 times crit chance, 2 times crit damage, increases the hero's attack by 60% when using a skill. Damage dealt is increased by 100% when they have max stacks. It's now been changed. It seems like it's got a lot more added now. Light Point is now 2 times, I believe this is the AoE skill as well. 2 times crit chance, 2 times crit damage, 6% attack when using the skill. Damage does increase by 30% against targets who have not accumulated maximum stacks of. Okay, so you get a 30% damage increase if they don't have max stacks, you get 100% damage increase if they do have max stacks. That still does not seem that impactful in my opinion. A 30% damage increase is okay. It sounds like a lot, but I was sort of hoping for like for maybe, I don't know, like for every old gauge enemy has, it does more damage, like detonate. I thought like that would be pretty good. You add detonate to it, and then which would do a lot of damage. But then, of course, if they've got max stacks, you do 100% damage on top of that. I know it would make it completely broken, but let's be real, we had Perk Bon, who had a rupture skill when the meta at the time was buffs, and he could just do. We could one-shot anyone, literally anyone. He actually was the only character in the game to defeat another character in their stream showcase. So it was Margaret's showcase, and they're up against Bon. Bon nuked them with the ultimate, and ever since then they've rigged every showcase, because that's what they need to do now to win sometimes. And this was, I feel like this general buff was designed for PvP, and this part I thought it was designed more for PvE, this part for PvP, solely because the unknown team, Millum, if it still went first against King and DIANE, which is still possible, some people maybe don't have the highest box CC or Constellation, you could still get one-shot by Millum. And it was something that I was able to do. Maybe you weren't able to one-shot like King and DIANE, but you could definitely kill like Alpha or Lance with one like level 1 AoE skill, because Millum is just that powerful, which I feel like is probably what they were going for with the damage cap. And now I do feel like now you've got a team that's got 2 damage caps, turn 1 and turn 2. They've also got the ability to, not take really proper damage from the first 2 skills that are played against them. So not only have they got damage cap, they've got immunity to most damage for 2 skills, and then another damage cap on top of that, and then Beta in the back who can heal. It's going to be a horrendous team to verse now in PvP. If you're using this team, it's going to be very good, but if you're not using this team, it might be pretty bad. Also, this does say max ult level, which does make me feel like maybe you don't get a 50% damage cap if you are 1/6. It doesn't state that. It does not state that, but I believe it could possibly. Oh, okay, so with the also change of the effects on this, it also affects the ultimate as well, which I didn't actually see that. It also affects the ultimate. So not only is their single target, sorry, the AoE skill got unpowerful, their ultimate is now a little bit stronger as well, which is kind of cool. But I will definitely be testing them out on Rat, because I did use them on Rat without this buff, and they were pretty good. I also want to try them on Demon King as well, to see if they are better than just having Valentine's Day DIANE or Queen DIANE on the team, LR Queen DIANE, to give this team a go. But generally, this update's okay. The buff was the thing I was hoping for the most to be decent. It's okay. It definitely could have been much better, but once again, it's a buff. It's going to help them to some degree. PvE is going to help them a lot, and I feel like that's, in my opinion, where I care about more than PvP. PvP, like, you can have a meta for like 2 weeks and then just get wiped off the field, because that's just how the game works. Gelder was a very good example of that. We had Arthur, brand new broken Festal, right? 2 weeks later, Gelder drops, completely wipes him off the face of the planet. But, yeah. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.